Hello guys, let me see. You used to be able to invite people in to watch. But it doesn't look like you can do that anymore. Interesting. Okay, so for today's video, it's been a little while since I've done just a video on like highlight and everything. So I'm going to do showing you how to use the B squared brush to do your highlight, blush, and bronzer. I love this brush. Typically when you first start off, I recommend the detail hack, but I'm going to show you with this one, you can get really good coverage by using the smaller end. So I love it for that. The first thing I'm going to do, I finally got a tan, so I'm kind of excited because I can use Aura. I could almost do amber too, like to match my arms and everything. But I'm going to take my darker highlight first. I like to use two colors. I like to do brighter underneath the eyes and then, you know, my actual color everywhere else. So I'm going to take the smaller end and just bounce it into the color. So I'm using Aura. And then I'm just going to start and cover up everything. You guys know I get quite a few breakouts, so I always love to cover those as best as I can. Hello, Ashley, how are you? So I'm just gonna kind of stipple this on. You guys know, like, if you need the most coverage, then you want to make sure that you're stippling the brush and not swiping. So like I said, this is like my actual highlight color. So what I'm gonna do is apply it in these areas, just the usual highlight areas, except for underneath the eyes. Under the eyes, I want it to be extra bright, so I will be using Moonlit actually. So. And Moonlit is the lightest highlight. So you can see how well that covers, even like the breakouts, and mine are super red at the moment.
Mommy?
Yes, baby?
I can't get this open, Mom.
What are you trying to open, honey?
This.
Oh.
I want...
Let me see. Hang on.
Everyone.
So actually I'm using Aura now. I actually have been like at the pool and the beach a lot, so I am so dark. I haven't been this dark in a long time, but of course my face isn't. So I'm in my next little light too, but like the rest of me is a lot darker. So I'm using Aura. And then I'll use Moonlit underneath my eyes because I love Moonlit, like for under the eyes. I don't know, I've always liked the bright highlight under there. So right now, just doing Aura. Oh, and if you guys are looking for a good like get ready mirror, because I know a lot of you love my ring light, this is so nice to have. You can see my phone, but it has like LED lighting in it. It's so nice, and you can get it at like TJ Maxx. I know you can get them off of Amazon too, but I actually really like it. It's by the brand Impressions Vanity.
I want a freezy pop.
A freezy pop? Can you get one and then I'll open it for you? Can't reach it? Okay. Alright, so now that we have that, we can do Moonlit. And like, of course, if you're like me and you have a lot of breakouts, you can still use this little tiny end of the detail hack and like bounce over any breakouts if you feel like they're peeking through. But for like a daily look, I love this brush because it actually applies, you know, like really heavy coverage, but you use a like small amount of product. It's kind of like crazy. I don't really know how it works, but I love it. Okay, so let's get some of Moonlit now. So still using that smaller side. And I'm just gonna dab that underneath, and like right away you can see the difference. And for whatever reason, I do it above my brow like I just did. I don't know. So some things that I do without even thinking about it. Sorry, you can probably hear Jonathan's show. Goldie and Bear, his favorite. Oh, and I'll be posting details on this eye look and like a close-up too. I never use the color Fin, but that's like what is on my lid. Isn't it so pretty? It's like a greenish kind of gunmetal color. This week I'm kind of trying to use eyeshadows I wouldn't normally reach for and kind of switch it up. Okay, so now I have Moonlit on underneath, and you can tell how much that highlights, and I already am adding kind of like depth and definition to my face. So, I forgot to put some on my nose because I have some redness, like you see that? So we're gonna do a little bit of aura, and for this step I'm swiping because I'm kind of proud of the freckles that I have on my nose, so I don't want to cover them up. I wish I had more. But I know those of you with freckles are like, I want them lighter. I wish I had more. Fin is one of your favorites? Yeah, every time I use it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty, but I never reach for it. I don't know why. Okay, so the only thing that I don't like to use this brush for is contour, because of course, you could probably pinch it and do it if you wanted. We can try it. Why don't we try it together? But if like it doesn't work out very well, all you do is use this brush instead. But like yesterday I had a client, Chelsea, and she didn't want to do the contour. She just wanted to do highlight, bronzer, and blush. So this brush was perfect for her. Like she only needed this for her whole face. So it's kind of cool if you're not like ready to do contour quite yet. It's kind of nice to start with this brush. But anyway, we're going to try contouring with it. Let's just go for it, right? We'll learn together. But normally I would use the detail hack. So I'm going to pinch it and we'll try it that way. And it does work. It's crazy. See, now you all are going to want this brush. I already love this brush so much for bronzer and blush and everything. But then when I started trying it out with highlight, I fell in love even more. Okay, so now that I have it kind of placed, I'm going to let go of it, not pinch it anymore, and just bounce over it quick.
Mommy!
Hi, babe.
Oh, I want a freezy pop.
A freezy pop? We need to do a freezy pop intermission. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze it again, dip it into the contour. I'm using Ash.
And this mom.
I'm going to look in my mirror. It's harder to use the phone. And just dabbing it on.
Mom? Mom, what is?
That's primer. Oh, I forgot to use it. Thank you, babe. I was gonna prime. See, whenever I do things like this, I like forget steps. So I was gonna prime my face using the Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot. You guys know how much I love it already, but I forgot.
Wait, Angel dies.
My what?
Angel dies.
My guys?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So yeah, you can use this for contour too. How fun. That's why it's honestly hard. Like a lot of people end up getting just the whole brush collection because for one, it's discounted, and for two, it's so hard to narrow it down between all the brushes. They're all so amazing. You can't go wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to do some contour up on my hairline. And I'm going to show you my favorite blush and bronzer combination for summer. I just recently figured it out. Of course, I have more light coming from this side, so. Okay, and then I like to do on my chin too because I don't like my chin to be super bright. And then along my jaw. All right, so now we have the contour on. Now we can do this step. I'm like still trying to decide if I like to do bronzer first or blush. Lately I've been liking to do bronzer first, so I'm gonna just show you how I've been doing it. Okay, so for bronzer, it's definitely easier to use this side of the brush, whether you're doing cream or powder bronzer, so Bella or Cayman. I'm gonna use both today because I love bronzer. So I'm gonna, I do squeeze it a little bit once again, and I'm gonna dip that into the Bella bronzer, which is our cream bronzer. And then just start by applying that on to like your apples of the cheeks, so right here, and then blending it back and kind of like meeting it up with the contour, but applying it a little bit above. And I love, like, look at that, it just bronzes you up. This color is so pretty. But definitely make sure you're using the fluffy side, unless you're like a bronzer pro, because the Bella Cream Bronzer is creamy, like super creamy and pigmented. And so I like to really layer it up because, like I said, I love a lot of bronzer. So, and of course I want it to be able to show up on camera too for you guys. And if you're popping on, say hi so I know you're there, because it doesn't really tell me who's watching, I don't think. Or if it does, I don't know how to figure it out, so. Alright, and then of course I'm going to do it on my big old forehead, make it smaller. Small as I can make it look, right? Alright, and then I'm going to put it on my chin and jaw as well. Because like I said, I don't like my chin to be super highlighted. Okay, so there's the bronzer, and I always like, you guys know this about me, I put it on and then I touch the number at the top. Oh, Ashley, you're so smart. Let me see what happens. Oh, it does! I didn't know that. Ooh, what else did that say? Yes, you're aggressive. Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I never knew that. All the live videos I've done, never known that before. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my favorite combination for summer. Believe it or not, my favorite blush for summertime right now is Sandstone. And I've always thought of this as more of like a fall color. I mean, it's gorgeous for fall, of course, but like something about like the reddish warm, it makes it look like you have, it sounds bad, but almost like a little bit of a sunburn, but it just looks so natural and pretty on. And this is a really creamy blush, so I'm gonna start off with this end, the smaller side for the blush, and then half of the time I do end up going over it with this side just to blend it out. But we'll see. I like my blush super intense, and I feel like you guys know that about me. So with blush, the same areas as the bronzer, and I know it seems kind of silly to layer it up like that, but it really does make a difference. And of course, we're not going to apply blush anywhere else, so the fact that we applied the bronzer on those other areas is really going to balance everything out. Okay, so you can see how easily that applies blush, like just kind of bounce it on. Hi, Aunt Mary! So I'm just going to bounce that onto the apples of the cheeks and work it back. I'm going to layer it up because you guys know how I feel about blush. So I'm going to flip over to the bigger side and dip that in to Sandstone again. And I feel like by kind of switching it up, like see how it kind of intensifies it a little bit more? So that, okay, I like a lot of blush. So feel free to adjust this to your liking. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more of the Bella bronzer because I feel like I need a little bit more on my forehead. And, you know, I feel like you can kind of tell that once you start applying your blush. All right. So see how easy that was? Now we're gonna take some powder because you have to set everything, no matter what skin type you have. You can always use Stay Spray. I don't have it over here. Let me show you something because I learned something new about Stay Spray. So let me grab it. Aw, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, thank you. Let me grab the Stay Spray. Okay. I'm just learning all sorts of new things about this makeup. So the other thing I learned about the Stay Spray is, it seems kind of obvious now that like I know it, but what you do, I'm gonna spray, I don't want you guys to see my face. I make the silliest face. So, okay, you can spray your face with Stay Spray, and then like for me personally, I don't like to have like that glow all over, and I always felt like the Stay Spray kind of did that for me, so I didn't use it as often as I should because it really does lock in your makeup and everything. But I just didn't like that extra glow. Like I only like the glow on the high points of my cheek, down the bridge of my nose, you know, just certain areas. So what you do is you spray it with the Stay Spray, and then we're gonna go in and set with Vanilla Dust and the Cayman bronzer. And what that's gonna do is it's going to kind of mattify everything. Oops, I'm making the phone shake, sorry guys. So that's gonna mattify everything, and then you're not gonna feel like too shiny. So I just learned that. I'm learning new things every day. So I'm gonna take some powder. I'm making you guys shake so much, I'm sorry. And then after the Stay Spray, we're just gonna lock everything in with powder. So if you typically like a dewy finish, then by all means, you do not need to use powder after Stay Spray. But I feel like if I don't set it with the powder after the Stay Spray, I get oily a little bit too fast throughout the day. Like I don't mind a natural glow, but I like to start off the day with a more matte face. All right, so you saw I used the small end of the brush for the powder, for the translucent powder. And then I like to flip over to the fluffy side and just kind of run that over the blush and everything. And so you'll notice that when you use your translucent powder, it has a tendency to lighten your contour, your blush, and your bronzer. So what I like to do is set everything with the powder, and then we will use Cayman bronzer. So there's Cayman, and this is crazy because doesn't it look so light? Like you wouldn't think it would do a lot, but even on darker skin tones it shows up and will bronze you, so it's really cool. I'm going to use the fluffy side, and so I'm going to do this anywhere that we applied our contour, and so that way it's kind of intensifying everything back up again and an extra step to lock it in because it is a powder. So just put that in the same places you did your contour. Or at least that's how I like to do it anyway.
Mom?
Yeah, baby?
I want a freezy pop.
You want a freezy pop?
I want to be one.
Okay, and then at this step, you are pretty much done with your face makeup. Hi, baby.
I want to be one.
A blue freezy pop? Okay.
I want to be a freezy pop.
Sounds good. The only other thing that you can do is an illuminator.
I need a freezy
Okay,
pop.
honey, I'm just finishing this, okay?
I need a freezy pop.
You need it now? Okay, let me just get this freezy pop because I have a little bit more I want to tell you, so hang on. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. So, back to what I was saying. If I can even think straight. So now that we have set everything with the Stay Spray and then we put the powder on top, then we can do some glow. So I love to use honey. So once again, we're going to use the same brush. We'll use the small side. So you can literally do your whole face with this brush. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I'm going to run this down the bridge of my nose, between my brows, onto my forehead a little bit, just for a glow. And on the tops of my cheekbones. Cupid's bow and chin. And because I am like, for whatever reason, I really like a good amount of highlight on my nose. So I'm taking a little bit of Sabrina eyeshadow and just kind of running that over. And then, like, isn't that Bella and Sandstone so pretty together? I love it. I'm going to take the fluffy side one more time. You guys, I am so dramatic like this. I have to make things dramatic, right? And I'm just going to do a little bit more of Sandstone. Because blush is one of my favorite things. Okay, now I feel better. So there you have it. I'm going to do Sabrina on my inner corner too. So I will be posting pictures of this eye look and all the eyeshadows used as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Posting it in a little bit. I think that's everything I wanted to tell you guys. So hopefully that was helpful because that's like a whole new way of doing it. And it's honestly the way I've been doing my makeup every day. And I really love the coverage of it. You would never think like to use this brush for it. So if you try this, let me know. I would love to see what you think about it. It's just really cool. And these are my two most recommended brushes for when you're starting out. Love, love, love them. So let me do a little bit of Sandstone on my lips too. Because I love this as a lip color. Like, I feel like it's a lot like my natural lip color. And if you are watching this on the replay, say hi. All right, there we go. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need help being color matched, let me know too. I love to do color matches. And I always do free makeovers too with purchase. So if you ever want your makeup done and you want to get color matched in person, we can do that too. If not, I can color match you with a picture as well. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.